Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Good morning all. I am Assistant Professor K Arunkumar from the Department of Information Technology, School of Computing, Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology. Today we are going to discuss about Python, a beginner's choice. Python is the most popular language because of its simplicity and extensive features. It has a very straightforward syntax and it is very simple also. It has a powerful libraries and frameworks which makes it perfect for today's developers also. Also, it is an high-level language, interpreted language with easy to read syntax. Now, today we are using it for web development, automations, data science and artificial intelligence. So let's get into how to give the input into the Python language. So getting the input is a very simple process, but since Python is a new language, we are getting the input in a very simple way. Say like, if I'm going to get an integer, the syntax is going to be a equal to int input enter a number. So it's very simple. And if you are going to get a floating point, you just write the keyword float before the input keyword. And if you are going to get a string, we need not to specify what data type it is. We can simply write it as c equal to input enter a string. And I am going to see what the input I have given. So you can see the output which I have recorded. When I am giving the enter a number which is in the first line, it is an integer type, I am giving 3. And in the second line we are going to get a floating point number and it is the input is 2.5 and the string is hello. So I am displaying and seeing that whether the input has been taken. Yes, it is taken 3, 2.5 and hello, which has been printed using the print statement. While moving for the output, we know very well compared to other languages we use printf function. Similarly in Python we use the keyword called print. So print is a function which is efficiently used for printing the outputs in the Python language. And here you can see that I have declared it as a group of integers as well as a string and I am printing and seeing it. You can see all the inputs which I have stored in a single variable is being displayed here. So it is one of the unique properties of Python. So I am giving the input as 1, 2 and a string gfg which has been taken as the input and printed using the print function. Similarly, this is a well-known example, printing hello world. So we have printed this hello world across other languages like C, C++, Java, C#, etc. And in Python it's very simple, just put the words within the double quotes inside the print function. Whatever we are going to put inside the double quotes in print function will be taken as the, will be printed as the output. So what about variables in Python? So in Python we need not to explicitly tell what kind of data type the variables is going to be. It will explicitly take what kind of variables it is. For example, a equal to 20, I have assigned that 20 is the value of a, and when I print and see what type of a it is, it gives me it is of class integer. You can see very clearly the first two lines, a equal to 20 print type a, so it tells a is of type integer. In the second example you can see b equal to good morning and when I print and see what type of b it is, it tells me it is of class type string. So coming to the data types in Python, so we have numeric, dictionary, boolean, set and sequence type. Further moving in numerics we have integer, complex number and floating point. While moving in sequence type we have string, tuple and list. So let's elaborate and see each and everything. Coming to the first one, Python string. So we know that string is a sequence of characters. So Python treats anything inside the quotes as a string. So it also includes letters, numbers and symbols. Python has no character data type. So single character is always considered as a string of length 1. Here you can see that I have taken the input as s equal to abc inside the double quotes. So abc is considered as a string which is being stored in the variable s. When I print and see yes, you can see abc is being displayed. So it is a very simple method of storing a string in a variable. Let's go for numbers. In Python, numbers are a core data type essential for performing arithmetic operations and calculations as like other languages. So it supports 3 types of numbers. One is integers, floating point numbers and another one is complex numbers. You can see a equal to 6, my first initialization, b equal to 3.5, second initialization, c equal to 7j. So all these 3 are different. A equal to 6, it is purely an integer number, 3.5 it is a floating number, 7j it is a complex number. So I have assigned all these values to a, b, c and c I am printing what type it is. When I come to the type, it clearly tells A is of type integer because 6 is being stored there, B is floating point because 3.5 is stored there, and C is equal to 7j, which is a complex number, and it clearly tells complex number is the type. So it supposed 3 types of numbers, one is integer, floating point, and another one is complex numbers. Next, coming for Boolean data type. So Boolean data type is a built-in data type. It always represents in either true or false. So when the condition is true, it tells the output as true, and when the condition is not satisfied, it tells as false. You can see that A equal to false. So I am assigning false to A, to the variable A, and I am printing and what I am printing and seeing what type of A it is. It clearly tells me that it is of class Boolean type. And similarly, I am saving B equal to true. So these two are keywords. True and false are Boolean keywords. So when true is being saved to B, and when I am printing type of B, it tells me it is of Boolean data type. So coming to the list. So list is a data type in Python, which is represented by the square brackets. So square brackets, when you see in Python, it represents a list. So in Python, a list is a built-in dynamic sized array, automatically grows and shrinks. So once we put the data inside, it can expand, and once you are taking the data, it will shrink. That is used to store an ordered collection of items. So list is an arrangement of ordered items. So first thing to be remembered. So we can store all types of items in a list. So irrespective of any data type, we can store all the data types in a list. For example, A equal to 20, 30, 40. You can see very precisely, I have taken 3 integers, different integers, and I am printing an A, and you can see that output has been printed. Moving to tuples. So in tuple, it is a collection of Python programming objects, much like list. So similar to list, it is also there. The sequence of values stored in a tuple can be of any type, similarly like list, and they are indexed by integers. So every place is being indexed in the tuple, as like list also it is indexed. So the values of tuples are syntactically separated by commas. We separate all the values by commas. Although it is not necessary, it is more common to define a tuple by closing the sequence of values in the parenthesis. So when you see that, when I use this kind of bracket, so it clearly tells me it is a tuple. So here I have taken an integer tuple. So 1, 2, 3. So I am printing A, and the output I am getting it. So Python sets. So the next data type is Python sets. In Python sets, we are representing the data type using the set function. So it is an unordered collection of data type that is iterable, mutable, and has no duplicate elements. So if an element is being continuously repeated in tuple or list, it will be taken as such, but in set, whatever it is being repeated will not be considered, only one item will be considered. So using the advantage of the setters, it is highly optimized method to check whether the specific element is contained in the set or not. Also we can check whether the element is being present at least once in the set or not. So let me take set 1. So I am giving the word Mississippi in set. So I am printing a line within the double quotes set with the use of string, and I am just checking what is the character which is being repeated again and again. You can see that in Mississippi we have one M is displayed, one I, we have multiple I's, 1, 2, 3, 4 I's we have, and one I is displayed, and yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 S is there, 1 S is displayed, and P, we have 2 P's and 1 P is displayed. So sets are being used in order to avoid the repetition of the same characters or same elements. So next is a dictionary, is another data type in Python. So dictionary, the thing we need to keep in mind, it is a key pair value. This data type works in a key pair value methodology. So everything we assign a key, to the key we assign a value. So we use the flower braces in order to represent the dictionary. So I am taking a dictionary called D. So 1 is my key, in 1 I am storing allow, 2 is another key, I am separating these two datas by a comma, 2 is a key in which I am storing how, 3 is a key I am storing R, 4 is a key I am storing U. So I am printing and seeing it, it displays me all the key and value. So it is a key pair value. So let's see some of the fundamental statements and loops. So the first statement is a well-known statement, is an if statement. So we know that if statement is used to check whether the condition is true. So the syntax is very simple for if. So whatever conditions we have, we just need to write it, but only one difference, we need to put a colon. So let me get an input a, int input, enter a number. So obviously when I see int, it is going to be an integer data type. So a is an integer data type. My condition checking is a less than 10, print a. So in the output I am giving the input as 9. So 9 is less than 10, so it is printing 9. So true condition, we are getting the output. What else if we want to check both true and false? So we are going for the if else statements. So if condition checks the true one and else condition will check the false one, or vice versa. If we want to extend it for checking multiple conditions, we can go for nested if else using elif. So here I have taken two numbers, a, it is a first number, b, it is a second number. My first condition is if a is less than b, print a, else print b. So I am giving the input for a is 3 and for b I am giving as 5. So 3 less than 5, condition is true, so it is printing a, my a value is 3, 3 is printed. Similarly you can check for the either condition. So going for while loop. So while is the loop which executes when the condition is correct. So I am going to get a number. So I am checking whether a is greater than or equal to 18. If the condition is satisfied, it is eligible to vote. So I am stopping the loop using the break statement. You can see that the first scenario I am checking with the number which is less than 18. So 16, when I am giving as the input, 16 is greater than or equal to 18, condition is false, so no output is being given. And the second time when I run it, I am giving the a value as 20, so 20 is greater than or equal to 18, so it is eligible to vote. So next one is for loop. So for loop, we are well versed in for loop. So this for loop, it runs from the initial value to the final value with a step function, which is an optional one. So the syntax is given very clearly: for space variable name space in a keyword then placed is range, open the bracket, the first one is start, stop, step. So let me take an example. For I is my variable name, in range, my range is going to be from initial value, that is my starting position is 0, my stopping position is 10, and I am going to step by 2 steps, so 2. So 0, 10, 2 and finishing with a colon, I am going to print my variable. So when I run this one, my starting value is 0. Now I need to go for 2 steps, so 0, 1 and then 2 gets displayed, then 2 and 3, then 4 gets displayed, then 4 and 5, 6 gets displayed, 6 and 7, 8 gets displayed. I should stop till 10, so 10 is not included. So these are some of the libraries available in Python today. So we have NumPy, that is numerical Python, pandas, panel datas, matplotlib, that is using for plotting the graphs and other things. So scientific Python, SciPy, PyTorch, Python Torch, PyGames, Python Games, TensorFlow is another platform available, another library available, scikit-learn is another platform available in the Python libraries. Using these kind of libraries, we can perform other operations which have been currently used in deep learning, machine learning and artificial intelligence today. So we have an important concept in Python, that is called indentation. So we know that although Python is an high-level user-friendly language, the language uses indentation instead of these braces. In other languages, we have used these braces in order to show the block of codes, but in Python we don't use these kind of braces. Instead, Python uses this indentation. It tells the Python interpreter that a group of statements belong to a specific block. So once the indentation occurs, it tells that these statements belong to a particular block. So the indentation is also used to define the block of code. So it tells the exact definition of the code. So apart from the above point, Python is still used in various applications because of its diverse nature and adaptability. So with this, we conclude this one, and in further topics we will expand this one and we will study. Thank you.